It's 3:29 on June 10th, and just finished this book. It's called The Will to Change, Men, Masculinity, and Love, and it brought up a lot of points. I definitely don't agree with everything she said in this book, but it brings up some good points, kind of the binds of masculinity, and I want to kind of talk about that, and I think we trans men kind of have an advantage over people born male in this area, because it talks a lot about, you know, male socialization and how they're socialized, you know, to be manly, to act as men, and really, you know, what is that? But when they're taught so young that they, like little boys, can't express how they organically feel, that expressing joy and happiness and love and, you know, severing them from their maternal bond with their mothers and stuff, it's really not healthy, and these boys have to grow up feeling like they have no emotion or they can't emote, and the only emotions they are allowed to express are anger. And I think, like, it's hard for trans men to come into this and be like, feel like they don't feel like every other guy, because I know a lot of trans men are like, I don't feel like a dude when I'm with a bunch of guys that were born male. And I felt like that before, because sometimes I feel girly, and I guess I've labeled that wrong. I've gendered that emotion when it really is that I'm more expressive, that I'm more sensitive, that I'm able to say, oh, that cat is cute, or whatever, you know, because I was socialized as a girl. It's okay to say, oh, that baby is cute, or, oh, you know, recognize that another male is good looking even if you're not attracted to them. It's like, whatever, you know, like, girls can look at other girls and be like, she's pretty, you know, even if they don't want to sleep with her. But, you know, like, I know with, you know, some people born male, that it's really hard for them, like, they don't like to feel things, because they're taught, you know, that's just not what they're supposed to do as men, and, like, older, like, fathers just are so different with their sons than with their daughters. You know, their boys aren't allowed to express joy and happiness and just emote, really, and I really noticed that, and it's something I really could never put a name on, but, you know, all my friends that were born male and grown up, it's hard for them to, like, talk about their bodies, or about how they feel about their girlfriends, or relationships, or family life, but I've noticed they can talk to me more than other guys born male, and it's not that they see me as a female, it's that, like, I show them it's okay to be sensitive, and, like, I don't give them anything to worry about. Like, when they tell me something like, oh, this happened to me when I was a kid, or, like, you know, some guys have shared, like, how they feel about their bodies. Like, even before I left, I had a really great conversation with a straight guy friend who was born male, and he was able to share how he felt kind of different about his anatomy, and, you know, he always felt different about that, and I'm sure he could never talk to one of his friends born male. They'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why are you telling me this? But he knows I'm not going to judge him. He knows, like, I'm sensitive, and I've shared a huge piece of my life, and that I'm open, so he's probably like, well, maybe Charlie would understand that I feel a little, like, hey, maybe I don't look like every other guy. I was like, well, I get that more than anyone, dude. You know, you don't feel like everyone down there? I don't either. But, you know, this book, definitely there's some stuff that's like, eh. And I don't like how books about feminism are always written towards women, and they say we, as if men would never read a book about feminism, whatever. But, you know, it's true. It sucks that boys have to feel like they have to be this manly whatever, and she makes a point that I've made in my past videos, that I think being a man, you know, is not just, you know, being this tough person. It is being a strong person, but, you know, it's also being able to feel and relate, and maybe not nurture in the same way as a female, but to nurture your family, you know, and not just a financial way. So I don't know. I think that's where we as trans men, being socialized as female, we're okay, you know, like maybe crying once in a while, even though it's much harder on T, but even just, like, showing our emotions. And, you know, I think people feel very comfortable around us, male or female, because it's like, oh, well, like, girls are like, oh, he's really sensitive. But guys are like, oh, he's a dude, he's not going to make fun of me. Like, oh. So it's cool. So I just want to put that out there. I thought it was really interesting. And you know, she talks about how we need to reach out to men. You know, she's talking about people born male, I guess, or who are socialized as male, and, you know, how it's so hard for them. And I think that it's funny when M to F say they start estrogen, and the amount of emotion is just crazy. It's like, I think it's a hormonal thing, but as well as a social thing, because they were socialized as males and taught, like, you're not supposed to be sensitive, you're not supposed to, you know, show that you're vulnerable and male. You know, like, that's just men, that is the one thing they do not want to be, is vulnerable, because that is associated with femininity, and obviously men do not like to be anything feminine. That's why men are so homophobic, blah, blah. So I just want to put that out there. It just made me think a lot about a lot of things. I could go on about how I see this in my relationships with women, how just what they expect of me, or whatever. But that's a whole other vlog. But yeah, just want to put that out there, and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.